instaMERSION.
Welcome everybody to the next episode of I Am Talk. I'm so stoked to have the lovely, amazing, beautiful Nalani Garza in the house, and just thank you for, I know you guys are so busy with kids, with homeschooling, with projects, and you made the time you and Hoku made the time just to come out over here and just bless us with what it is that you're going to share.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so humbled and I'm honored to be here with you. This is fun.
Yeah. The blessing goes both ways.
Thank you.
If there's anything, so I just always love to just kind of go back and recollect the first time that we got to meet one another, and I can't really remember a specific moment.
I know. Yeah, it's the same too. I do remember you coming to our home and we shared a little
testimonials, right? Yeah. But from what I do remember is it was probably at church at Kahala, but just kind of always being able to see you guys on a consistent basis, and just the energy, the smile, the inspiration that I would get from both of you is just always so much aloha, so warm.
Thank you so much, and it's the same. You're always so genuine, and I'm really grateful for your kindness.
Oh, thank you. And so, Nalani, if there's anything that I believe that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's just something that you trumpet from my observations, just the way that you're able to use your home as a ministry. And so that meaning, just with your family, being able to raise up a beautiful generation of children, and even just what you're doing within the household, being able to message that out into the internet through social media, just the positive, very encouraging ways that you can use that to just show who God is.
Yes. It's something that I never, it's not like I've always dreamt that it would use this kind of platform like with Instagram or social media, but I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm proud stay-at-home mom, and I'm homeschooling, and I chose to homeschool before even this pandemic and stuff, so I actually do enjoy it, even though there's always challenges in anything that you do and stuff. So
what is it about the whole homeschool? I mean, because you could have easily sent your kids to private school.
I would have never dreamt, like growing up, I had cousins who were homeschooled, and I just never dreamt that I would be doing that. And it was just like a call that God put on my heart. And I was just like, am I really hearing you? This is kind of crazy. I don't know if I can do this. And I shared it with my husband, Hoku, and he was all for it, and he was supporting me. And we're like, I'm just going to do it. And I just, really what came behind of that was there's not enough time, and I really cherish the time with my children. And I just want to set our own, our foundation, the foundation on Christ, and set that, just our values and instill that with our children.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I really mostly enjoy about homeschooling, is that I get to do that.
No, that's so amazing. Was homeschooling something that you started with your firstborn, or? Yes,
I've been doing this for about technically 3 years, 4 to 3 years, because I homeschooled him in preschool, but I feel like it doesn't really count to a kindergarten. I don't know. But yeah, I've been doing that, and now I'm doing 2 of them, and then my youngest is 3.
Wow.
So yeah, they're all young in elementary, and I'm still learning. I don't feel like I'm an expert at all.
I mean, once you kind of step into it, and when you start doing it, and you have your third now daughter, right?
Yes,
right?
My daughter's
I would assume you're probably an expert by now, right?
I don't know, but I'm just super grateful because the community too has just grown so much.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to me, and ask me questions, but they're like worried, and I think times really have changed. There's so much resources out there, so it's a lot easier than people think. And community is so important, so I always try to make sure that I'm always grounded in that as well. Describe with me,
or to me, just the process of, as you were contemplating homeschooling and then finally jumping into it. I can't imagine just the balance of being a wife and then being a mom, and then on top of it, you're trying to educate your I guess this would be your first son, right?
Yeah.
Zion, right?
Yes.
But what was that transition like? And
it was a lot. Like, I really had to really have time with the Lord. So he's the one that gave me the confidence, because there was a lot of outside voices too. Like, are you sure you can, like sharing more like the the hard, like what the challenges might be.
Right.
And I'm still trying to figure out that balance. Like I don't feel like I fully mastered it, like the balance of it all. But
Yeah, what would you say some of the biggest challenges are just homeschooling your own kids?
Yeah, I think just sticking to, well, I think there's so many ways to homeschool. So you can do unschooling, which doesn't look at all like a regular school. It's what you choose to do, or you could be a little more structured. I'm very like, I like to write my calendar, and like I'm very organized in that. So I tried, I stuck to that. That's what helped me a lot. And then slowly try to break away, see what works, and learning, like really learning what my son, how he learns. And, you know, and each child is different.
Oh my gosh, right.
Then it's just like, okay, this one's more visual, this one's more hands-on.
Yeah.
And just really bringing out their strengths, you know, and just reminding myself of God's truths, because I wasn't this A+ student. I mean, you know, and I felt like I'm more of an average student. And so it's not like, you know, everyone thinks I'm just super qualified to do this, you know, but, you know, people say this all the time, but God does qualify the unqualified. And I just think sticking to, you know, his truths and just that reminder, I know I can do this. Because there are days that are really hard, and then, you know, you'll see maybe your child's shortcomings, your shortcomings, and you're just like, oh, you know, I'm pouring out so much. Am I investing enough? Like, I'm doing some, like, is this the right thing? And, but then no, that, you know, just drowning out that voice. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now. Me and Leela, who is my wife, we have yet to have kids, right? And so these are all things that we actually haven't really contemplated. But then, you know, once hopefully God willing, like once we start to have our first kid, it's I feel like just being able to set that pathway for the kind of upbringing that you want for your kids is really important.
Yeah, I'm sure as long as you're obedient, I know he will make that clear, and that's what helped me a lot. Yeah.
So what are some of the maybe like some of the fruits that you've seen from because I would assume that you're around your children 24/7. Like when do you get a break? Like when do you get to work out, and when do you get to even go on a date night with your husband?
I do, like, you know, I do try to make sure I take care of myself first. It's not in like a selfish way, but just to keep the sanity.
Yes.
So sometimes if we have to start school at like 9:30 or 10 a.m. because mom wants to work out first, like I need that, you know, I need that release. And so we do that. They know too, when I read my Bible, okay, it's your time to read.
Like off limits.
Yes, like mom just needs just 20 minutes at least, you know. And it's great. So it is beautiful to see, you know, I really believe in that phrase where it says more is caught than taught.
Great.
And so you can tell your child to do this, this, and this, but if they don't see you doing it, then, you know. And so I think they do catch a lot from me, and it's not just, it's by habit, and that's like some of the fruit is just seeing them pick up, you know, the Bible or pick up a book or just go and write something on their own without me having to do that.
I mean, they're seeing the example through what you're doing, and they say, okay, that must be pretty important, right? So we should be modeling that too, right?
And teaching, like both my sons know how to read now. I'm like, I still am like, and it's really not by my own stream, but I'm like, it's really them. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can read. So it is very fruitful. And just seeing how, you know, we're teaching them just about kindness and just really loving others and being accepting of others. And they're very understanding, and they have discernment even at this young age, which I'm really proud of. And there's so much fruit in those different things. Yeah,
I mean, I could understand, you know, in the beginning, homeschooling one of your kids and being able to pour all your love and affection towards that one kid, and now I don't know if you have eyes behind your head or how do you homeschool 3 kids simultaneously?
I know, and then each season it keeps changing, so I mean it is challenging. My house, I know I post, like I love design too, and I know we'll get into that.
We're gonna get into that for sure.
But when I post it, my house does not look like that when I'm homeschooling. You know, have the little one with crayons, or you know. So sometimes it's a little chaotic, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay. But you know, it's not supposed to be perfect, and I think, you know, I read once that like because of the Garden of Eden, like was perfect. That is in us to seek perfection, and sometimes that's like my personality. Not that I'm like, it's not like a spirit of perfection. Sometimes I do put that in check, but it is like I have to do A, B, and C to get to D, you know? And sometimes it's not like that. And so just kind of learning to go with the flow, and
Right.
it's a learning process. Some weeks are better than other weeks, you know, and just praying for that supernatural patience. And it's definitely not on my own strength, because there's no way to.
No, that's something so huge. I mean, like, you have to have. I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't have anything, but from what I'm seeing through you is that just being able to beckon God and to ask for His strength and for His help. Right? What has He been teaching you through the process of homeschooling and who you're becoming, just through this?
Other than just like the patience and just the reminder of just who I am through Him, and just that I'm set apart. And I don't, you know, because sometimes you can see so many things like, should I be doing this? Like, wow, I love that too. Maybe I could help my husband and start a business and bring income in that way. But just remembering like my why I chose to be, you know, why I chose to homeschool. And it keeps changing too. And just sticking to that, and just knowing the truth that, you know, I don't need worldly praise or worldly acknowledgement and do these amazing, like, cool things to do the work of the Lord. And right now I know for sure He's calling me into homeschooling. Like, I've had a lot of different opportunities come to me that are amazing, but I know, which was hard to say no to those things, because I know, no, this is where God wants me. And I'm just sticking to that. So I feel like this season I feel really confident in that.
That's amazing.
Where before I'd be just like, you know, like you have that, maybe the fleshy side where you're like, am I doing, you know, I want to do this. Especially when those weeks are hard and stuff. So
you mentioned something that I'm actually doing a lot of studies on this too, but just knowing your why. Right? And then just, you know, as you are confident, knowing what your why is, and that why obviously coming from Holy Spirit and saying, hey, no matter, like how you mentioned, there can be better opportunities, or not like necessarily better, but attractive things, right? That can come our way, but then just that why being like, no, like, for what the Lord is telling me that I need to do and why I'm doing it. Nothing else can come into conflict with that.
And it's so unfortunate, like with this whole pandemic, and no one could have expected this. And I was just so thankful that I started before, and I was really able to help a lot and give a lot of advice and encouragement to other moms who had to, you know, were kind of forced into this situation with everything going on, and, you know, now it's changing and stuff. So I'm grateful that I could be, you know, just that light and help in any way I could, just send a resource and stuff. So I use my social media a lot in that sense.
Just to kind of cap off this homeschooling. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but there's so much more that I want to talk about.
I know, sorry, I'm always all over the place.
No, I love it. But just to kind of close off this segment, what's some advice you can give to maybe it's parents that are debating whether they should, you know, send their kids off to maybe it's public school or even private school versus homeschooling, and where would they start from making that choice?
I would just say, like, you know, if you really feel that call and you know the Lord's calling you into this, and don't maybe not to be so influenced too, and don't feel bad, even if you tried it for like a season and it just wasn't for you. Homeschooling really isn't for everyone, and even for me, like, if God's not calling me to do it in 2 years or 5 years from now, then I'm going to listen to Him, and, you know, we're going to move in that direction. And so just want to encourage anyone just to keep, you know, you're doing the best job you can, especially as a mother or father. Like, you're their mother and their father, you know what's best for them, and you'll see their strengths, and you're going to learn so much more patience when you continue to lean on God. And no mom is better just because she homeschools, or if you go to public or private school.
It's just a matter of kind of what best works for their setup, and even just how they're wired and their personality too.
Exactly. And your kid might really just thrive with, you know, in a public school setting, and that's awesome. So just, you know, just know your convictions and just know your why, and just stick to that truth, because there's so much noise out there, and there is so much awesome, I think, opportunities and ideas out there, but maybe that's not for you. You know, you
Yeah.
got to stick with what, you know, God designed for you and your
So
family.
good. Shifting gears a little bit, design is another
Oh, yes.
thing. I mean, you're like excited just like being able to talk about design, but I see you just having a certain style, like not only like in your dress and in your appearance, but the value that you, I mean, like just your interior of your guys' house is so beautiful, and I could see like, wait, was it Hoku that made those color choices? Or
Oh, yeah.
maybe he constructed all the things around it, but I can see just you adding. I don't know if it's just limited to interior design or if there's other things, all things creative that inspire you.
Yes, I think, I don't know if it's because I was a dancer before, so that was like my artistic like outlet maybe to express myself. But now that you know, I'm a mom and we're decorating our home and we have our new home and stuff, I really got into like the decorating and homemaking. I love homemaking. I think it's beautiful, and I don't think it's as acknowledged as much. I don't know how to explain that, but I had this new passion for it, because I guess if someone said, like, oh, you're so artsy or you're so creative, I'm like, if you gave me a paper and pen, like, I still draw stick figures. Like, it's not in that sense.
It's
but
a whole different palette,
yeah, I'm
right?
very visual. So I feel like I'm more of the visual person, where I'm like, I see it in my head, then I have to try to explain it to my husband, Hoku.
Right,
He's
right.
like, okay, I trusted you. I'm like, no, trust me, this color is gonna be the it's gonna be the thing. But
Where do you draw your inspirations from? I mean,
so I think a lot started, everybody loves Joanna Gaines and Chip.
Oh my God,
and then just pooling, she really helped. I like always love like certain things, and I'm very sentimental, so I do love antique things or just pieces that have meaning. And she really put it together, I guess, her style for me, where I'm like, yeah, that's exactly who I like, what I stand for, what I like, and it has a name, okay? I like this style. But what we're still learning right now is trends are constantly changing.
Yes.
And I mean, it just depends on you. Like, you can stick to that. If that makes you happy, then, you know, do that for, you know, your whole life or whatever. But I've noticed that my style has kind of changed a little. And then I don't want to say I start the trends, but it's funny because I'm like, I really like this, but I can't find it anywhere. So we'll try to make it, and then all of a sudden it's like at Target or there's things, and then my husband, he's such a good encouragement. He'll be like, see, you started that. Where I'm like, no, I can't take, you know, and think it's just funny how
you're the trendsetter.
No.
Through doing that. I mean, like when I look at, you know, like you guys will post like maybe different rooms in your house, and it goes beyond, you know, just the typical living room or dining room, but I even saw just I think it was like your lanai area where you have this kind of devotional area where I was like, oh, I could hang out there. Like, if I could hang out there and listen to the Lord, like I'd be there all day too.
No,
right?
yes.
But even just, you know, parties that you're having for your son and daughter, or your sons and daughter, and just how you're able to, just really transform not just the home, but pretty much anything that maybe it's an event or maybe it's whatever you guys are involved in, right? It's just elevated, right, through the artistic flair that you add to it.
Yes. No, so growing up, my mom, she always decorated a lot for the holidays, and I really loved that, and it would make us feel special. And there was just little things. It wasn't like extravagant, you know, spending a lot of money. So I love doing that for my children, and like with their birthday parties, and you know, making them come up with their theme, and I get a lot of joy, and I guess a lot of love just comes out of that, you know.
And I can't imagine the experience that they get to have through like being able to live.
No, it's so precious to see, see how just find that joy in the mundane. It just adds life, you know, like making a bigger deal out of it. It is a little work. Sometimes like I will stay up late decorating, but I'm like, but I love it, you know, and I'm like, I'll lose some sleep for this. It's fun.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but I think what you mentioned through our little Q&A is that you're actually part of Timber with, I mean, not, you know, you're married to the owner, but then you do play an active role in Timber with Love, and just maybe share a little bit about that.
Yes, so we have like a joke. He calls me the foreman because, you know, we're really good at, you know, supporting each other. He's really more the hands-on builder.
Or maybe you can describe, I'm sorry, for our audience,
yes.
what is Timber with Love?
Timber with Love. So it started off like we just came with this vision. We love decorating our home, and we started making little pieces like little coffee tables, and you know, we got a lot of reaction from it where people were like, wow, this is amazing. Can you make us one? And then we're like, you know, we should start this business. And you'll probably get to hear from my husband, but he, like, when I first met him and we started dating, even when we were first married, he couldn't build any of these things. Like, it's like this new skill, which is kind of amazing, because I feel like that saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks is not true. So I'm still amazed at like what he's been, you know, coming up with and stuff. But yeah, so we basically, Timber with Love, we started off, we're gonna build little decor pieces, but then it just started turning into like bigger things like furniture, and it's just kind of making that Pinterest dream come true.
And now it's kind of morphing to other things too, beyond just things that you see in homes. But
yeah, we're so blessed for like just different opportunities and new ventures with it. But yeah, so because I'm homeschooling, I'm really kind of handling the household. It's a lot. So I can't really always be in the shop with him. So I'm more of like the final seer, or he'll show up like, okay, you know, this client wants this. They need a recommendation like of a color. And so then I'll give, you know, my input or help and stuff. And I'll come in and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't like that stain. Like, you have to redo
Change it.
Yeah, and
sand it all down.
Like, really? I'm like, you should have asked me earlier, but
no, but
you know, but yes, and then because we want our customers to be happy, and I want it to be just right. And so there is a lot of love that pours out of it. That's why we came up with Timber with Love. It can kind of sound cliche, but no, I think it's something so special about having these like handmade pieces in your home, and it gives us a lot of joy when we get, you know, photos back from the customers, and just seeing like,
I've been posting.
Yes!
Me myself as
so
one of your clients, right?
And we love that. We love when people come to us with their ideas and like things we've never done too, and the techie stuff. I'm like, wow,
I just see that as, you know, just such a perfect marriage of both of the things that you guys are so passionate about, and you actually been able to speak creatively too into that process, and it becomes something more, right, than if it's just one person, you know, just kind of giving all of their input. But like how you're able to just elevate Timber with Love with just that creativity and that eye for design.
Thank you. It's interesting how we just keep learning new things, and I just love, we even have a lot of, Hoku will probably talk about it, but even it's like becoming this family business, because we even have our cousins who work with him in the shop and stuff like that. So it's been very fruitful, and we're very thankful.
Yeah, and the thing that I was so touched too, for me, it was more than just, like my idea came to life, right? It was like me knowing you two, right? And then just when Hoku first came over, I could brag about Hoku all day, but just his personal, his care to attention. I mean, like I remember we were trying to figure out our bed, and I'm only so tall, so he was kind of measuring, you know, like up to my waist, like where I would kind of fall back, and I kind of have this little shelf where I put my phone, and he was like kind of measuring like all the specifics with just so much care. Right. And then,
attention to detail.
So that's the stuff that we really remembered is just
I
the
love
overall.
that.
And then even in the I remember the setup was such a fun process. When you brought your cousin, right? And we're just laughing the whole time, and it was just like such a fun time, like seeing like not only
the process of it a little bit. Because even me, I'm like, wait, you're delivering right now, and it's in little pieces. He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna put it together. I'm like, okay. You know, I'm more of Hoku's more of the cool, calm, collective. It's that good balance. Where I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, like, did they like it? When he comes home as my first thing, like, did they love it? Like, he's like, oh, they loved it. I'm like, okay, you know.
Looking into this new year, like, what kind of things do you have in store for? I don't know if you have any new endeavors, or is it just kind of more staying in line with what you're already doing at home and with Timber with Love, or
we have some new things coming up. I'm working on I'm graduating from the black thumb. So I feel like I kind of have this a little green thumb. So I've been just appreciating God's beauty and his like creation.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do some things with my plants and incorporating it with timber.
That's gonna be
so
cool.
I'm excited for us. We're just going to start that soon. So I'm excited to share that. And yeah, I think just with homeschooling, I'm just going to continue and doing I'm very open book on social media. I like to use my social media and just be like that vessel and just be that light, because where I'm at, I feel like I don't get to see as much people. I don't get to go to work and talk to as much people as of someone who has like, I guess, a job, like who goes out and works with people. So I'm like, how can I share the good news, and how can I just be that light where I'm at? And so even though I do post like lighthearted things on Instagram too, and just like a journal of like my family, I also like to share with others just little things and just be that that vessel, and just give encouragement with my trials. I'm very open with some things that I've been through, and I think that's what I'm going to just continue to do. I'm getting joy out of it.
No. I really see you as somebody that has kind of like a Joseph like spirit, where no matter where he's at, he just is able to really blossom in those areas that God calls him to. So you being at the, like spending more time at home and just seeing your home blossoming with all your design, and how your kids are being not only educated, but how they're being raised, and the godly values that you're instilling within them, and then even being able to use the different means of technology and social media to be able to share that with the world, and your messaging, and I'm sure you're probably connected with so many people that are just touched by what you're doing.
No, I'm really thankful. I know like social media can have definitely its negative sides, and which we all have to kind of balance that, and we go through seasons and stuff like. But it is I love the community, so I'm grateful for that community, and just being able to just weep with those who weep, rejoice with those who rejoice, and I think it just doesn't matter how big your influence is. Your influence could just be one person. You're still doing God's work and bringing him all the glory. So.
Nalani, time is quickly eluding us, but I just want to give you an opportunity to address the camera in front. If there's just anything that God is instilling in your heart, or maybe there's a message or some inspiration, just want to allow you to take it away.
Yes, so I just wanted to encourage you. I love encouraging others to just wherever you're at, God, you are a vessel for the Lord. And even if it's just your children, your one child at home, maybe you have many followers, maybe you don't have much followers, you still have an influence, and just keep doing what you're doing. Be obedient to the Lord, and just just shine his light. And you don't have to have this huge audience, or any kind of like platform. I would say your platform is just wait where you are, and just know his truths, and just stick to that.
So I just noticed in the camera I did such an amateur move, because if you look at the screen in the back, the camera's right in the right shot. I was like, oh, well, I guess that's okay. Well, you know what?
I know, like, what could we put? Maybe you could put like a banner.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just kind of pixelate it out or something like that. But I just noticed that right now. So it's like hilarious. We're not going to do this again, but
no, I know.
No, because what we've captured is so good. But I'm just like, hold on, what is that doing there? Anywho's, but yeah, I just want to just really thank you for just taking the time to just share what the Lord is doing, and what I would like to call is like you've really redeemed what the home could be, right?
Thank you.
And it's just really allowing the Holy Spirit to breathe in, just making the most of just that lot or that assignment that He's giving you, and just really being able to see His Spirit literally flourish in everything that you put your hands to, and allowing just especially through your spirit of creativity, I feel like you're just able to communicate and inspire through that sort of expression.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for that encouragement. I received that.
So we're down to the last few seconds, but any last thing to add before we kind of wind down?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. Alex is so amazing. I'm just so grateful for you and your friendship, and overall through the years at church, and just seeing your smiley face. It's just
Likewise.
so welcoming and so genuine. God bless you.
I'm the one that's blessed through
No.
the Garzas.
Thank you.
So, anyways, that's all we have for this episode of I Am Talk, and we'll see you guys next time.
instaMERSION.
I would love to thank you for hanging out with us here on I Am Talk. Hit the subscribe button to stay in tune with our channel. Oh, and don't forget to tap that bell icon to get notifications on the latest episodes coming your way. We're always looking for the next guests to talk story with here on I Am Talk. So if you just shoot me an email at alex@instaMERSION.com, I'll be sure to shoot a guest application your way. Well guys, it's all for now. Until our next episode of I Am Talk, this is Alex, and I'm out. Peace!